Hello. In this video you will learn the most interesting facts about human psychology. Man is the most unknown and at the same time the most intensively studied object. Many regularities of his psychology have already been established and confirmed, but there are enough blank spots left. Sometimes human behavior can be predicted, but even specialists often make mistakes. This article contains interesting facts about the psychology of people. This information will help everyone to learn something new and surprising about themselves. The science that studies the patterns of emergence, development, and operation of the psyche cannot stand still. Studies conducted over the past few years have revealed interesting new facts about human psychology. Recent discoveries. 1. Happiness is, after all, about money. A study conducted by scientists Michael Norton and Elizabeth Dunn helped disprove the well-known adage. These people were able to prove that money plays a big role in building a happy life. However, scientists insist on the fact that it is necessary to spend it properly. The results of the study help to come to the conclusion that one should not buy things, but impressions. The former are quickly bored, while the latter allow you to indulge in pleasant memories. For example, going to the theater or to a concert is preferable to buying another pair of shoes. 2. The working day should not begin until 10 in the morning. Researcher Paul Kelly has been observing people's biorhythms for a long time. He proved that before 10 a.m. an individual works less efficiently. 3. Communicating with contented people is a direct path to happiness. Researchers proved that a long stay in the circle of unhappy individuals leads to the fact that the person sinks into a state of stress. If, however, he communicates with those who are happy with their lives, he is charged with positive emotions. 4. Impressions of what is going on depend on the music. Scientists have found that perception of an event is directly related to the musical background. Sound forms an emotional response. This allows music to be used to treat psychological disorders. 5. Thinking is better in a foreign language. This makes the thought process less automatic. The areas of the brain that are responsible for logic come into play. A person is easier to make the right decisions. These are interesting new facts about human psychology. In addition, research has helped to establish that telling others about one's goals is dangerous. A person feels satisfaction at this moment from the impression he makes on those around him. As a result, his motivation decreases. Attention. It plays an important role in everyday life, in work. Everyone will find it useful to know interesting facts about human attention. Psychology is a science that studies this issue as well. 1. A person is able to concentrate only on one object at a time. Doing several things at once has a negative effect on the result. Do not simultaneously communicate with colleagues, answer letters, and talk on the phone. 2. Time of maximum concentration doesn't exceed 10 minutes. After that, it inevitably dissipates and the level of perception deteriorates. It is necessary to be distracted for some time in order to concentrate on the object again. 3. Everyone has an inner clock. Some people find it easier to concentrate in the first half of the day, others in the second half. This should be taken into account when planning your cases. Memory. The ability to absorb information is important for success. Many studies in psychology are devoted to it. Interesting facts about human memory are listed below. 1. Scent is able to be an effective trigger. Studies have shown that a particular scent can trigger many memories in a person. Let's say the smell of candy can remind you of a time spent as a child at your grandmother's house. 2. There is a direct link between memory and sleep. People who are deprived of a full night's sleep are less likely to remember information. 3. A newborn has a memory. Studies have found that as early as 20 weeks of pregnancy, the embryo begins to record certain events. 4. Memory depends on the profession. For example, scientists, teachers, actors, and speakers have less problems with it. This is due to the fact that these people are used to memorizing a large amount of text. 5. Memory develops up to the age of 25. It peaks at the age of 19 to 20 and begins to fade away at the age of 50. Stories from the past are also of interest. Some famous people had an outstanding memory. The archaeologist H. Schliemann could learn a new language in 6 to 8 weeks. Themistocles knew by name all the inhabitants of Athens, about 20,000 people. Cardinal Mezzofanti knew 100 languages. Alexander the Great knew all the soldiers of his army by name, about 30,000 people. Abilities. All people are different. However, everyone will benefit from interesting facts about human abilities. In psychology, many studies are also devoted to this topic. 1. If an individual fears that others do not recognize his abilities and talents, he deliberately belittles them. Sometimes this is done contrary to common sense. This allows the individual to put himself in a position where he will not easily find himself unappreciated. 2. Talented people tend to constantly doubt themselves. Individuals who do not have outstanding abilities often overestimate them. The more knowledgeable a person is, the more he is inclined to allow that he may be wrong. 3. Everyone is capable of convincing their brain that they have had a good night's sleep. Studies have shown that all you have to do is believe it and people feel a rush of energy. This phenomenon is called placebo sleep. However, there is no substitute for a good night's rest. 4. The ability to make social connections is limited. Psychologists have established the maximum possible number of loved ones 150. 5. The human brain is capable of producing from 12 to 50,000 thoughts a day. The strong sex. Modern research has shown that members of different sexes do not differ from each other as much as previously thought. However, a certain difference still exists. Here are some interesting facts about male psychology. 1. Men tell untruths more often than women. On average, they lie about 6 times a day. Women cheat only 3 times a day. 2. Men who are satisfied with their family life often acquire extra pounds. 3. Members of the stronger sex more easily decide to start life with a clean slate. For example, one 99-year-old man left his 96-year-old wife, with whom he lived for about 77 years. The man was driven to this action by the news that his wife had cheated on him in 1940. 4. Guys are more prone to take revenge on their abusers than girls. An American man bought a house across the street from his ex-girlfriend's house for one purpose only. He decided to install a huge statue depicting a middle finger in the yard that faced her windows. The beautiful sex. Interesting facts about the psychology of women are also able to surprise. 1. It is important for women to hold something in their hands while walking, otherwise they feel discomfort. This encourages them to carry handbags with them everywhere. 2. Female representatives of the fair sex cry on average 30 to 60 times a year. Tears for them are an easy way to get rid of tension. In comparison, men do it 6 to 17 times a year. 3. Women have a hard time admitting guilt. They apologize less often than the stronger sex does. 4. Ladies like to ask questions for which there is no one definite answer. Sometimes they do it to make men feel guilty. 5. Women are more curious. It's hard for them not to answer when the phone rings. Love. What other interesting facts about psychology are known? This science pays a lot of attention to love. Scientists compare this feeling to drug addiction. Therefore, the treatment of unhappy love is made in a similar way. First of all, a person needs to remove all reminders, joint photos, gifts and so on, to do something completely new. Love lasts on average 1.5 to 3 years. In the presence of various obstacles, separation, lack of reciprocity, this period may increase. Novelty saves love. Many couples regain the ability to commit madness when they arrive in a foreign country, stay in an unfamiliar hotel, and so on. Hate. In psychology, attention is also paid to hatred. 1. A study was once conducted to determine whether all people encounter this feeling. It turned out that over half of those surveyed had never encountered it. 2. It's hard to hate without personal contact. Generally, people have this feeling for those they encounter on a regular basis. 3. Love can really turn into hate. Often the objects are close relatives, mother, father, sisters, brothers, ex-husbands, and wives. 4. In many people, the second halves of friends cause hatred. Jealousy. Some interesting facts about the psychology of people are devoted to jealousy. Insecure people experience this feeling more often. About 3 to 5% of people are capable of not being jealous. But this is due to the inability to feel deeply, emotional coldness. About 20% of crimes are committed on the grounds of jealousy. However, it is not considered a mitigating circumstance in criminal law. Stories, research. What else can we learn from research facts and interesting articles about psychology? Humans are capable of paying attention to danger, sex, and food. This is due to the struggle for survival, which people have been conducting for many centuries. Food is necessary for mankind to exist. Sex is the fulfillment of the instinct to reproduce. Attention to danger has to do with a subconscious fear of death. Man will always stop to look at scenes of disasters, accidents. In the stories of different people who have achieved success, there is often one common detail. Even as children, they learn to give up what they wanted badly in order to get more later. Nightmares can have the simplest explanation, which has no direct relation to psychology. They can bother people who freeze in their sleep. Researchers compared the love stories of people with different eye colors. This revealed curious patterns. Blue-eyed people only need a few minutes to fall in love. Green-eyed people need much more time, it can take years. Individuals with brown eyes are capable of loving two people at the same time.